OTSS, and you know how we feel about the rest. Today we'll be covering the dark side of New York City adoption in the 1990s. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Who would ever think that two sisters at a convent that had original intentions to do better for the community could end up bringing it down drastically and costing lives? Sunset Park in the 1990s was a somewhat poverty-stricken neighborhood, and we do understand that it was full of crime and drugs at the time. A lot of Vietnam veterans that had kids that ended up joining gangs, and being the offspring to that, not much jobs were around for people that were immigrants or people that had no work experience. Heroin is sweeping the streets of Brooklyn, especially in the Spanish Latino community. So we have a bunch of kids that have nowhere to go because their parents are addicted to heroin and crack, but mainly heroin, the drug of choice. And in that time, you have a company called Center for Family Life, which is based on the vision of helping stranded kids who are looking for a fresh start. Now, with that fresh start came along a government grant that was giving parents the initiative to adopt kids or foster kids that were at high risk or who were under the influence because of their parents. Now, in that time, the vetting process was horrible. And horrible is an understatement. These kids, the younger they were, the less they were worth. But the chances of these kids making it past 13 were 35% lower than the average person that was raised by even just one parent. Now, these children, once they hit a certain age, they were pushed out onto the streets. 12, 13, some as young as 7. There was a case of a boy named Donovan who was released back to his original mother because he was no longer worth so much money. And he started here in Spofford Detention Juvenile Center in the Bronx, which is now closed down. They released him to his original mother. He was taken to Puerto Rico and drowned at sea. Now, Donovan was adopted by a family named the Gerardo family. He was not the only one that was adopted or fostered. There was also another boy and 2 girls. One of the girls ended up getting forced into a crazy house, pills, medicine. The other girl ended up, yes, you can guess, a juvenile detention center, along with the other boy. Now that makes you wonder, where is this company now? And are they still active? And if that's your question, then they are. And they are in a sense that there's been many cases until the recent law that prohibited these companies from releasing information based on the applications of the kids or parents who exceeded the age requirement at 18 to know where they came from. Now there is a new law, and if anyone's watching this, if you're over 18 and you have been adopted, you can get your original birth certificate. It is called the Clean Adoptee Act. Look into it, like, subscribe.